Millions of gamers around the world have experienced what the world of Call of Duty is, and on November 8, 2011, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 made its way into its history books by shattering its own record from last year's Call of Duty Black Ops. The sales numbers have been tremendous, and the reaction from fans, both negative and positive, speak louder than the second coming of God. Love or hate it, Call of Duty franchise has earned its way into the godly status and will continue to be here for a long time. Whatever the reason is, the fact remains. The same that with every iteration of Call of Duty franchise, it's always a big huge bag of goodies for everyone. Maybe that part is a problem. But Call of Duty is now for everyone instead of being the elitists like myself. People like me who would race home to find a good session of hardcore search and destroy and spend the entire time cursing out opponents for being a bunch of camping sissies. Instead, Call of Duty has opened its gates to everyone with a controller. In simple terms, it's been dumbed down for everyone to play. To some, that is a bad thing, but for the 6.5 million people who bought Modern Warfare 3 on launch day, it's a great reason to play. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3's single player takes right off after Modern Warfare 2's campaign. As its predecessor before, it's chock full of kick-ass roller coaster rides and holy crap moments that we're all used to love about the Modern Warfare series. There are great set pieces that randomly change in tone of the game dramatically, but in a smooth way that furthers the campaign without running into walls or plot twists that just completely make you lost, where you just don't care about the story anymore. There are also times in the campaign where sequences are better than Hollywood blockbuster movie production. Gameplay wise, the game's campaign carries a lot from the Modern Warfare 2 game, except for one thing, the dreaded monster clauses where enemies just keep on respawning until you make it to a certain point of the map to engage the next sequence. Now each sequence is measured to a certain number of enemies, and you and your squad just have to kill all your enemies till the next sequence begins. I think this is a great improvement because I got tired of seeing monster closets over and over, and I just totally put a wall in the campaign, and you sit there and be bored, and you might actually have to miss something that actually happened in the campaign. Some of the great additions to Modern Warfare 3 though is the overhaul of Spec Ops. Carrying over from Modern Warfare 2, Spec Ops has been revamped with even more awesomeness. Spec Ops has been split into two versions called Missions and Survival. Missions are basically what they're titled, missions. Gamers will find these recognizable since they're basically the same types of missions that were brought to life in Modern Warfare 2, where yourself and a friend over either online or in a private team carry out missions to succession. This mode really amps up the teamwork that is needed for both players from having to start from the beginning if one fails. The cool part is that one player goes down, there's a certain amount of time where the other player can revive them before the mission is over and the mission is set to the beginning. Spec Ops also supports a survival mode. Similar to Horde mode found in other games, Spec Ops survival mode takes you and your partner through waves of enemies, each increasing in difficulty and amount of enemies for every wave. Players again have to coincide and plan out a survival strategy to be able to survive. Waves and waves of enemies range from soldiers, man-eating hyenas, suicide bombers, aircraft dropping bombs, and not to mention everyone's favorite, the Juggernaut. This was definitely one of my favorite parts of Modern Warfare 3. It's something I've been asking for since Call of Duty Modern Warfare. All I wanted for Christmas was just waves and waves of people to shoot at, and what seemed to be an eternity that never seemed to stop. It was invigorating to be able to pick up a gun and go to town on some enemy AI without any real life consequences. To be able to do that with a friend too made it all that much sweeter. Now, negative feedback for the game has always been about Call of Duty's lack of teamwork. I've always said blame the players, not the game. I can make a statement now by saying literally if you think Call of Duty does not take teamwork, then you're just not invested in using the tools provided in Call of Duty. And your opinion is basically stupid and unwarranted. It was the aspects in the Call of Duty franchise that made Call of Duty great. I've yet to see anyone be successful in a game of hardcore search and destroy without having an overabundance of teamwork. But in Modern Warfare 3, that kind of becomes a problem. The part that made me fall in love with Call of Duty was the fact that it's a shooter that did the shooting better than every other shooter out there. There is not a game today that can debate that fact. The problem I felt in Modern Warfare 3 though, during the campaign and the single player, also in this campaign, the Spec Ops and the multiplayer, was just that. The weapons did not feel like I was wreaking havoc across somebody's TV screen. Weapons felt real empty without utilizing a ton of perks to upgrade them. One of my biggest pet peeves in shooters is having a large amount of weapons that just all felt the same. I could not tell the huge difference between an M4, a SCAR, or a G36, which in prior Modern Warfare games all felt differently, controlled differently, did more or less damage, had more or less kickback than the other, or just looked cool while shooting. The weapon personality in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty 4 were done so well that nothing else mattered in the multiplayer. In prior Modern Warfare games, a floating aircraft did not matter much because I knew I could take it down with the LMG, like the RPD. Huge maps did not matter since I could take a submachine gun and just run quicker, being the fact that I weighed less by having a submachine gun. Taking out snipers would be a simple task with an assault rifle because I could differentiate which assault rifle could shoot further and steadier than the other. Now, in Modern Warfare 3, all the weapons react differently due to the which perk is equipped for the gun. Now that is entirely due to the fact that the weapons are built on an upgrade system where weapons gain attachments and perks for however many XP points you earn for the gun. The terrible side of that denomination is if I'm using steady aim, kickback, quick draw, etc., for whatever guns I want to use, then they're all essentially going to react the same based on the fact that I just equipped them with all the same perks. There's just not a big enough difference in personality between the guns, in my opinion. I'm all for the upgrading weapons system, but to dumb down the differences between guns in favor of this perk system, something I'm not a fan of. The good side of all that I can account for is the fact that this is a great upgrade for multiplayer for those who are new to Call of Duty and those who are tired of being ran over by wannabe Rambos like myself. Gone from the multiplayer is overpowering weapons in the hands of some idiot who just doesn't know how to use the weapon, or an overpowering weapon in the hands of someone who constantly turns into God based on the fact that he's using the best gun. It makes things fair for everybody instead of giving the best gun to the elitists like myself who just want to run the game. Gone also from Modern Warfare is overpowering aircrafts that never seem to go away. This to me is the ultimate shut up to the Call of Duty naysayers who complain about being killed by planes every time they spawn. Aircrafts and planes gone from the game? Absolutely not. They're still there. But in addition to the multiplayer is the ability to utilize kill streaks that can ultimately combat those planes from the ground up without your feet leaving the ground. But that's not all the changes for kill streaks. Gone again is the need for Call of Duty to just be for the person who wants to go on all assault on the world. Modern Warfare 3 makes things fair for all players by enabling two types of classes, other than the would-be assault class. There is a support class, an assault class, and a specialist class that greatly differ from the douchebaggy dude you hear on Xbox Live gloating about his kills. The support class gives you the chance to combat all the assault from the other team. For an example, a SAM turret to combat those planes, to drop UAVs to find those that are camping. The Specialist class is an even crazier addition to the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, as it gives you the ability to become a super soldier. Sounds fair? No, probably not. Well, it's not easy to advance and earn that ability, as you are punishable by getting your kill streaks reset by dying and having to play sneakingly instead of being able to run out like Rambo. That again is another way to even the playground. With all that, there's still room for more content. With the release of Modern Warfare 3, there's also the release of Call of Duty Elite, where gamers can team up with friends over Facebook integration or create matches together and always be connected to see what you can always do with friends. Call of Duty Elite is an online community where Call of Duty fans can go and feel like it's cool to be a fan of Call of Duty. I feel this is a must-need for all Call of Duty fans who do want to be the best and compare scores compared to their teammates, or just want to see where the bar of status to see where they can improve their game. Call of Duty Elite also goes to as far as to implement Facebook integration, so wherever and whenever you are on Call of Duty, you are always prone to having someone play with you. Call of Duty Elite also gives gamers the ability to easily customize matches. Want to make a match where everybody plays without kill streaks? Maybe even certain guns? Certain modes. All can be done and then uploaded for your friends to see and join in. All in all, the single player campaign was fantastic, which finished a classic story. The addition of the Spec Ops mode is adrenaline pumping fun, and the multiplayer has been torn down and revamped for a larger amount of differentiating players. Call of Duty Elite Service gives this game what a game like games is just missing, and that's a community feel. What else do you need? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is a definite must-buy for all gamers, and we write the history books more than it already has. There's not enough that I can use to explain the awesomeness that is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. So, please check out the full written review for every detail imaginable. Check us out at gamersheep.com. Thank you.